Hi, and welcome to Daily Downdog, where real yoga meets real life. Thank you for being here, and let's hop right in. So, today's podcast is taken from one of my Substacks, and I'm going to read portions of the Substack, and then I'm going to talk to you about it, and that is the format, and hopefully we'll end in a nice little meditation. Alrighty, so the Substack I sent out was called The Art of Listening. Your body's always talking to you, but are you listening? And this is fundamental to what I practice, what I believe, and what I've lived. We can go into that on another time, but in brief, I sustained a car accident. I was a pedestrian, got hit by a car when I was 14 years old while in a crosswalk. And that car accident should have killed me. By all measures, I should not be here. The life that I was given and predicted to live, if I lived at all, is extremely different from the life that I'm living. And I know that has to do with my belief in my body. And when my body tells me something, I listen. And it's not to say that I ignore what experts and doctors and professionals tell me. Not at all. But I take it with a grain of salt because everybody's human and everybody's limited by their past experience. And we know, for example, miraculous things happen all the time. People do way better than medicine predicts all the time. And I would like to be in that all the time space as much as possible. And the way that it's worked for me is to listen to my body. All right, here we go. So something powerful and simple is included in the act of tuning in. It absolves my mind from trying to make something happen that's out of my control. And I tune in with the daily breath practice. This is a non-negotiable, you guys, because when I tune into my breath, I'm immediately shifted into the art of listening to my body and what my body needs today, right now, in this moment, which is so different from what it might have, wanted from me last night or last week. So that's really important, is not to get too rigid with your practice, whatever it is. There's benefit and there's tremendous value in establishing discipline, and discipline often involves a repetitive practice pattern. However, after you get the discipline, start to listen. Okay. So these revelations, right, they only happen in those quiet inner moments, like the ones between sleep and waking, where our minds and hearts are more easily in sync with the world around us, and when we're not distracted by constant external input. Listening invites us into a conversation with ourselves. I can't stress this enough because I have been so guilty of this, especially during the pandemic. I got so into podcasts. I still listen to a lot of podcasts, but the more that I listen to what other people are saying, the less that I have space and time and energy and the capacity to listen to myself. So be careful with the amount of listening of external media sources, whatever those are. And that can even include other people. If you're constantly asking everybody else for their opinion on everything, you'll never move forward, right? You got to take that first step. Even though we don't know what that second or third step is going to look like, we got to take the first step to be able to see the second step. All right. So for example, this example I gave is, let's say you have a party at work. There's a company party, and you have that feeling in your gut that you should just stay home and take it easy. You don't really know why, but then your guilt kind of gets to you, and you're like, I'm going to do it, right? And what happens is you come back home and you have a massive headache and you really need to lie down after all. So, but now you have an excuse. Now you blame the headache. Whereas had you listened to your body and maybe just relaxed that evening, you may not have pushed yourself so far to end up with a headache. Simplistic example, I know, but project it outwards, right? Expand it outwards into your experience. Second example I give is when you're in chair pose, right? We've all been there. Your knees feel tweaky. You're going into a twist, for example, or a really long extended chair, or the teacher's doing that thing where they lift the heels and you're in chair on your tippy toes and you're like, I can do it, right? But your knee feels tweaky and you're like, mine never matter. So instead of backing off, you override it because you're like, no pain, no gain, mine never matter, I'm strong. I've totally been guilty of this. And afterwards, your body's like, and it reminds you that you needed something different that day. So our bodies carry deep wisdom. Our bodies are always communicating with us. I can promise that to you. They always are. So what if I asked you right now, let's just sit and breathe for a moment, right? Your brain might immediately say, oh my goodness, what's the point of this? I should be doing something. But the only way to hear what your body is saying is to get used to listening to it. So right now, right, we're going to breathe in. On the inhale, my body's always talking to me. Okay, so get ready. Take a deep breath. And your inner mantra is, my body's always talking to me. On your exhale, I want you to release resistance, doubt, and worry. Okay, let's try it again. Inhale. My body's always talking to me. As you exhale, release resistance, doubt, and worry. Okay, let's do it one more time. Inhale. My body's always talking to me. Exhale, release resistance to this, doubt, and worry. That was good. All right. So I can hear what your mind is saying, but what about the time that I got really sick, right? And I got this, whatever, unfortunate thing, or a horrible disease, or, something that strikes fear in many people's hearts. I can hear the mind resist, and I understand. And I'm not saying the mind creates everything, okay? It has a huge part in it, but I'm not saying it creates everything. So what I'm asking you to do right now is don't get rid of that resistance. That's not going to be helpful, right? Resistance, like, take it and put it right next to you. Like, resistance can have a seat right here, or behind you, right? So release it from your thoughts for a moment. Let it just sit on its own. Okay? You can address that later. That's like a therapy thing or a deep introspection thing. For now, let's tune back into our body, keep resistance where it belongs, not inside of you, but like a solid voice of reason giving you a different perspective that you can examine as you wish on your own time. All right, so next one we're going to do is I listen to what my body tells me, okay? On our inhale, take a deep breath, and you're thinking, I listen to what my body tells me. On your exhale, release resistance, doubt, and fear. And again, inhale deeply. I listen to what my body tells me. Saturate your entire being with that feeling. As you exhale, release resistance, doubt, and fear. One more time. Inhale into your low back. Inhale into your side ribs. I listen to what my body tells me. Inhale all the way up into the torso. I listen to what my body tells me. Saturate yourself with that. And when you're ready to exhale, release resistance, doubt, and fear. All right, one more. Okay, so our breath is paramount to existence. Okay, this is going to invite you back into a relationship with yourself. So the third one is, my body is always in the process of healing. Okay, so before we do this one, listen up. I know you're going back to, but what if? How come? Just think about it logically. I cut my finger. I cut my hand. I garden. I have cuts all the time. Right? For most of us, most of humanity, right? As soon as we cut ourselves, what does our body do? It starts to clot. It starts to stop the bleeding eventually, and it forms a scab and it heals. That's the body's natural organic response. Your body's always healing. It's always trying to heal. Okay? Promise you that. So this last one is, my body is always in the process of healing. Ready? Take a deep inhale. And you're just going to feel my body is always in the process of healing. As you exhale, just release resistance, release doubt, release worry. Okay, we'll do it again. Inhale, my body is always in the process of healing. Saturate yourself with that feeling. And exhale, release resistance, doubt, and worry. And one more time. Inhale, deep breath. Inhale, low ribs, bottom ribs, back ribs, waist, side body, all the way up into the torso. Imagine swishing the inhale through your skull. My body is always in the process of healing. And as you exhale, release resistance, doubt, and worry. All right, thanks for tuning in. I want to remind you guys that every day demands something different of us. And the more and more that you do this very simple, powerful practice, the easier it is going to be to listen to what your body needs for today. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining. Bye.